mostly down, really, on the latest news on the Chinese economy.
Yes, that's right. Market's looking a bit green, perhaps we could say.
Very good.
Kermit, do you like that? That's because manufacturing data is out and it's not looking very good, as we've seen now for several months. This is PMI data, which gives a sense of what's happening in the manufacturing sector. And when it's lower than 50, as it is here, that means things are shrinking. And that July number, 47.7, is the lowest for 11 months. Or we can take a look at what is happening in the markets as a result of that. What we've been seeing is they've been mostly falling throughout the trading session. The Shanghai Composite there down about 1.25%, as you can see. Now, another thing going on there in China is a ban by the Chinese government on new government buildings and buildings for the Communist Party for 5 years. Now, this is part of an effort to cut wasteful spending, but it also means that we've seen the shares in some companies involved in construction, not surprisingly, falling as a result. One of the biggest there is called the China State Construction Engineering Company. They have lost around 3% in this Wednesday's session.
Well, back here in France, we're going to get the latest unemployment numbers later this Wednesday. The rate currently stands at 10.8%, a 15-year high. Now, President François Hollande has promised to get that rate falling again by the end of the year. But is time running out? Well, Siobhan Silk has more.
As he waits for the latest jobs report, François Hollande's office says he's not expecting a miracle, but not a catastrophe either. The president has struggled badly to keep unemployment under control. France's jobless rate has risen steadily over the last 2 years. It's over 10%, and young people are hit especially hard. A quarter of them are out of work. In May, over 3 million people were unemployed in the country, a record high. But there are also 250,000 unfilled skilled positions. That's key to the government's plan for tackling the problem. It wants to retrain 100,000 job seekers by the end of next year.
I hope that in this struggle against unemployment, we can not only respond by simply reducing the number of people seeking jobs. We also need to know which sectors and industries we need to focus on to prepare today's youth for the jobs of tomorrow.
Among the priority sectors are construction, home care and hospitality. Some bosses complain that though applicants have often gone through higher education, it's not the right education and they're unprepared for the job market. The government stresses that tackling unemployment is its #1 concern. But forecasts from the OECD, the European Commission and the IMF are pessimistic about the chances of a reversal of the trends by next year.
Siobhan Silk reporting there. Well, let's get some of the day's company news now. And the probe into the pharmaceutical industry in China appears to be widening. Chinese authorities have now detained a US citizen. That's on top of arrests made at GlaxoSmithKline over bribery charges. Another British drug maker, AstraZeneca, is now also in the spotlight. Police have questioned 2 more employees from that company.
Now, profits have fallen around a fifth at Apple over the last 3 months, but that was less, in fact, than expected. The iPhone one bright spot, sales up 20% after selected price cuts and better distribution. The company is promising a busy autumn when it comes to new products.
And the luxury car maker Bentley is entering the sports utility vehicle sector. The company, now owned by Volkswagen, will invest €900 million in its Crewe plant in northern England. That should create an extra 1,000 jobs. The new SUV should be on the market by 2016.
Now, back to Kermit, Miss Piggy. No, back to the royal baby. That's what I really mean. Topical advertising you're talking about, aren't you?
That's right. Companies eager to get in on the act as well of the royal baby's birth. We were taking a look. Here are some we like. Now, this is for Oreo cookies, sort of teaming up with milk. And Coca-Cola, you know, they've got names on all the bottles.
Sure.
So they were trying to be topical there. And there's some more names as well on cups by Starbucks, with a small one for the new as yet unnamed baby. This one from Evian, the French getting in on the act as well. You can't quite see all the words there, but it says we will wake up the Palais Royal. There you can see the full bottle, and of course that not only means we'll wake up the royal palace, but also palais there meaning palate as well. So double
Very
meaning
good.
in French, handily,
Clever.
which means Evian, presumably sparkling. So there's a free bit of advertising for those companies there getting in on the act.
King
And
Evian.
if you've got any more, do send them to me. I'm on Twitter at MatthewFrance24. You can get in touch with me there. And I'd love to hear good and bad that you've seen about the royal baby.
Excellent stuff. King Evian. I think that's a good idea.
King
Has a
Evian.
certain ring to it.
Maybe that'll be a consideration.
Not a very good one, unfortunately. Matthew, thanks very much. Matthew with Business here on France 24. Now, at this time of day, it's time for today's focus.